10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Dude, freaking line prepared. It's like really right on the butt. In the 3 years since we first covered airbags, it has become impossible to inflate their safety benefit. So that would have been the key. See, traditional back pads can disperse a crash down to 18 kilonewtons, while a fat airbag can absorb that impact down to 0.36 kilonewtons, 5,000% safer. Meanwhile, you get a helmet immobilizer's 89% drop in cervical spine injuries without having to actually ride around in a neck brace. I am bullish on airbags. For motorcyclists, they are the single safest advancement since the helmet was invented 4,000 years ago. But just in the last 3 years, we've added the motorcycle jeans, first to be put in pants, the Helite H-Move, first to be put in a backpack, and the Climb AI1 Rally, first to be algorithmed for off-roading. On this table here, I see my most favorite and my most hated piece of motorcycle gear I've ever reviewed. This should be fun.
Let's start with Mo''cycle, because you have enough time in your day to wrestle the clunkiest pants, but not enough time to say motorcycle.
The bagginess is function, not fashion. CE AAA abrasion denim will slide 4 seconds at 120 kilometers an hour, an amazing feat that makes them about as flexible as the Iron Curtain. Ergo, the pants must be cut with excess room for inflation, which fills in 125 milliseconds, as fast as a human can say 2 syllables. Watch. 3, 2, 1, Yahtzee! Pressing not unpleasantly on my balls is the safest pant ever made, a fact that the mainstream picked up with their usual precision.
1, 2, 3.
Great until you hit a small bump and suddenly turn into MC Hammer.
He's so funny and wrong. Motorcycle jeans are not triggered by accelerometer, but rather by a dead man tether. One must separate from the bike with greater than 88 pounds of force to set him off. It's inelegant, but it's still the safest. See, many new airbags do use accelerometers, a more dangerous detection method. Electronic airbags were developed for racing. This accelerometer and gyroscope analyzes acceleration and orientation 1,000 times per second, and after seeing thousands of crashes, it can recognize them absolutely reliably in racing. But for you and me, an electronic airbag also needs a GPS to measure velocity and deprioritize certain impacts. Otherwise, you take it off at the end of the day and... That was a joke. The airbag knows not to do that because these systems do not arm within the first 10 seconds and may not deploy under 15 miles per hour. Which was never a worry on the racetrack. You're not even allowed to go slower than 15 on the racetrack. But public roads stop us all the time, which is why for street use, electronic airbags like in InMotion are only around 75% successful deployment, and not guaranteed at all when GPS connectivity is lost. Tunnel crashes, stationary crashes, and crashes in the first 10 seconds. None of these are a concern for MotoGP, so forget what MotoGP uses. When the tether fires 100% of the time, you separate from the bike, and a rope will never have a dead battery. My only hesitation with these pants is that I don't care enough to use them. Yes, tailbone fractures happen. Yes, hip replacements suck. Yes, in theory, you could bleed out from the femoral. But in Supermanian's study of 5,349 motorcycle fatalities, 0% of the deaths resulted from lower body injury alone. The market demand for life-saving trousers is so low, Motorcycle qualified for part of a €4.8 million smart textile market development grant. So yes, someone who actually straps on hip and tailbone armor will find the Motorcycle jeans more comfortable and far more protective. That was never me to begin with. What is me is the Helite H-Move, spelled M-O-O-V, like a cow. Fortunately, the product makes more sense than its name. I have a normal 18-liter backpack with all the grade 7 features. Sub pockets, an expandable main pouch, a rain cover, a hydration bladder holder, a helmet sack. This feels just like my grade school daily driver, only it's unusually heavy. And there's this umbilical cord that gives away nailed it. Chest and abdomen crush absorption. A back balloon complete with tailbone flap and an underlying CE Level 1 passive pad, plus the all-important helmet immobilization. Of course, immobilizing your helmet only helps if the helmet immobilizes your head, so make sure yours really fits. And too many of us buy lids based on tertiary factors, like whether or not it has eyeglass channels, and that is why we recommend Flying Eyes. With paper-thin, flexible, and unbreakable temples, they're made to slide comfortably into any headgear. So thanks to Flying Eyes for sponsoring this video, and for freeing us to choose whichever shape most closely matches our own. Now the H-Move is made by Helite, a company I chose to spend my own money on because their CO2 cartridges cost $30 and can be infinitely reloaded in 60 seconds. The only downside to the backpack versus my own turtle is that it lacks the side protection. But even still, I wish I'd waited for the H-Move. See, if I may be open and broken with you, I am not honestly an hat guy. I ride everywhere, every day on a motorcycle, and I just don't want to live my entire life in riding gear. But with the H-Move, I could nip to work in my work clothes, carrying a bag like I always do, only I'd have a hidden level of protection that my mother is more comfortable with. Unlike every other airbag, the backpack has strap adjusters and is one size fits all. I like that shareability because I have a few petite pillions whose lives I value above my own. I also like that the backpack zips right off to run the airbag only in a rally race, and I even like that it comes in a stupid $1,000 electronic version because that makes this tethered one only $800. But if there's one way to impress upon you how special this product is, it's to hold it next to the Climb AI-1 Rally. Ugh. First, the AI-1 catfishes you. $600 seems cheap. An algorithm tested by Dakar racers sounds elite, and 60 millisecond inflation is the fastest hand in the West. But you quickly realize $600 only buys the hardware. To activate it, one must pay in motion another $500, or $16 a month until the day Jesus returns. I won't waste your time lamenting safety by subscription. We all know that when Adobe cancels your Photoshop because the visa expired, say la vie. When Climb cancels your life, say not la vie. Oh, sacre bleu. But no biggie, we can pay the extra $500 up front, only to find that just includes a single mode. Everyone needs Street, so to get the Adventure one developed in Dakar is an extra $10 per month. Then we discover that because I don't view my safety as subscribable, that excludes me from lifetime updates and a lifetime warranty. Apparently InMotion only stands by their service if you pay them every month, like the Mafia. But whatever, $1,100 plus a recurring $10 later and I have an off-road optimized airbag, which an amateur off-roader might set off 3 times a day. And remember that 60 millisecond inflation time? Well, it's possible thanks to the higher expansion ratios of a proprietary argon-helium CO2 mixture, so canisters cost $130 each. And when you go to install your grocery savings, you may notice the bag is worryingly like a grocery bag. Until recently, Climb airbags lacked the filaments that typically strengthen premium air bladders. A manufacturer like Climb would not cut such corners because InMotion does it for them. They make this same airbag for Ixon, Furigin, Tucano, Urbano, RST, a host of cheaper brands, which, sure enough, are prone to blasting 8cm tears through your safety net. See, such a fitted and flexy garment means that you're sliding the bladder around constantly. Unlike the comparatively rigid straps of a backpack, the AI-1 has an origami of folds that are always rubbing against each other. Which is why InMotion has been recommending, but conspicuously not advertising, a biannual standard inspection for €99. And after 3 inflations, the manufacturers recuse themselves from guaranteeing its function at all. So $600 for the bag, $500 to turn it on, $10 per month to go off-road, $130 times 3 for today's 3 inflations, after which it must be returned for factory service. A cost which will inevitably approach the original $600, making it more logical to toss your AI-1 in the garbage. which is where it belongs. So, the motorcycle jeans are cool for the extremely safety conscious, and the Helite H-Move is just plain cool. The youths are actually into these, and it's saving young riders' lives, making it my favorite product to date. And the Climb AI1 Rally is going to get me sued. Thanks for watching.
Remember, kids, a true friend will not make fun of you for being safe. But a true friend will pull your ripcord when a pretty lady walks by, so be sure to pocket that tether lest you fall victim to a hilarious $30 joke.